Hello and welcome to the news updates on AFRICUNIA television, reaching you from our studio here in Lagos, Nigeria, the nation's commercial capital. And I'm Deborah Ezeh. And now looking into the African scene in Ethiopia, where Prime Minister Abiy said his country needed to reconcile weeks after defeating a rebel attempt on Addis Ababa. Last June, the rebels rejected the government's ceasefire offer and vowed to dislodge Abiy's government. So far, attempts by the African Union to mediate a ceasefire have been futile, and both rebels and government forces have been accused of committing atrocities. And moving on, Morocco and China have enhanced their cooperation as they signed on Wednesday the Joint Belt and Road Implementation Plan. Nasser Bourita, the Moroccan Minister of Foreign Affairs, and Ezeh, Vice Chairman of the Chinese National Commission for Reforms and Development, signed the Joint Belt and Road Implementation Plan. The convention signed by Morocco and China also plans to include Africa in order to form tripartite cooperation in the sector of sustainable development. And now in West Africa, Nigeria, the African Center for Disease Control on Thursday said Nigeria had experienced a 249% increase in new deaths as a result of COVID-19, just as a tally of epidemiological reports issued by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control revealed that no fewer than 25 persons died in 5 days. The director of the Africa CDC, Dr. John Nkengasong, during a virtual briefing, added that 547 million doses of vaccine had been procured by the 54 member states of the African Union, while 326 million had been administered. It said there has been an overall 8% average increase in new deaths reported in Africa, and the breakdown of death by the most populous countries as follows: Nigeria, 249% average increase; Kenya, 215% average increase; South Africa, 34% average increase; and Ethiopia, 12% average increase. And still in Nigeria, the Minister for Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, said there is no plan by the federal government to lay off government workers. She said the President Muhammadu Buhari had said repeatedly that no worker would be sacked. The minister, however, said the government would encourage people to leave government jobs by giving them incentives. When asked how the government would cut personnel costs, Ahmed said, "We do hope that at the end of the exercise, some agencies will be merged and it will cut down operational costs." And still on the African scene, South Africans will no longer be barred from entering France. And now the French government published a decree Thursday that removed South Africa from the list of places subject to highly restricted travel rules. Travelers who have received the jab will be able to enter the French territory without having to complete a self-isolation period. Those who are unvaccinated must, on the contrary, quarantine in France for 10 days under supervision from local authorities. And now we head to the foreign scene, where global food prices reached a 10-year high in 2021, rising by an average of 28% compared to the previous year, the UN Food and Agriculture Organization said. The FAO Food Price Index, which tracks monthly changes in the international prices of commonly traded food commodities, dipped slightly in December. However, at 133.7 points, it remained close to the record of 137.6 points it set in February 2011. The index stood at 125.7 points for the year as a whole, also the highest in a decade. Prices in all food categories jumped also last year due to strong demand. And updates from the COVID-19 infections: Mexico is likely to surpass 300,000 deaths from COVID-19 this week, the fifth highest death toll worldwide, as infections rise after the holiday season, fueled by the Omicron coronavirus variant and largely unrestricted tourism. Infections have more than doubled to 20,000 during the last week, when many tourists visited Mexico from the United States and Canada. 11 of Mexico's 32 states decided not to resume in-person school classes this week, with cases climbing fast. And more updates from the foreign scene: President Joe Biden used the first anniversary of the January 6th assault on the U.S. Capitol on Thursday to urge Americans to protect the country's fragile democracy by standing up for the right to vote. Biden, in remarks from the Capitol National Statuary Hall, lambasted former President Donald Trump for spreading mistruths that fueled the deadly attack by the Republican supporters 2 weeks before Biden's inauguration in 2021. In remarks delivered before Biden spoke, Vice President Kamala Harris also cast a spotlight on Trump supporters' efforts to subvert democracy, calling on Congress to pass voting rights legislation and on Americans to participate. And now on to the sports scene. Richard Arnold will become Manchester United's chief executive on February 1st, with Executive Vice Chairman Ed Woodward stepping down from his role before leaving the club in April. Arnold, who will succeed Woodward in running the club, has been the driving force behind the numerous commercial deals since becoming United's group managing director in 2013. And finally, Jose Mourinho was left gesticulating in apparent disapproval after 2 errors from his Roma players handed AC Milan a 3-1 win in Serie A on Thursday. First, striker Tammy Abraham struck out his arm to block a shot that resulted in a penalty for Milan. Then defender Roger Ezeh made an errant back pass that was intercepted by Olivier Giroud, which led to the host's second goal just 17 minutes in. And that's it on News Update today. To stay connected and updated to our news and other programs, you can download the Join Team and Pangram app on your mobile devices from the App Store and the Google Play Store. Also, you can subscribe to our social media platforms on Instagram, Facebook, and also like and leave a comment on our YouTube channel. Once again, I am Deborah Ezeh. Have a beautiful weekend.